Good morning everybody and welcome back. So today I have a couple exciting projects to do today, a little more on the decor side than just planting. Last week my husband was out for a walk and he noticed that someone was throwing out some wire hanging baskets. And they were looking a little sad and rusty. So I went to check them out and I thought, what can we do with these? I'll show you. Alright, so I'm going to give you a bit of backstory. My husband noticed someone throwing out a bunch of different hanging planters at the curb a few days ago, so I went for a little walk. And I found these three, and I figured, free is free. I can just paint them. So I have made myself a handy dandy little spray painting booth. So I am going to, and they fit perfectly in here. I'm going to stick my pots in here and I'm going to take them out in the yard part area. I'm going to push back where it's kind of touching the paper a little bit better, and we're going to spray paint these. So I'm going to spray paint that part like that probably. I have some poles that I can put across here to hold it up like that, so I can spray paint the chain nicely so it won't get all dirty. So yeah, that's our little project for today. Is going to be spray painting these three planters that I got. And then I ended up going to Home Depot and buying some cocoa liners. So I bought 3 of them to go in. They are 14-inch hanging baskets. And they were $4.60 each. So I've got 3 of these plus the price of my spray can. I'm looking at maybe $15 all in for 3 nice hanging baskets. So I'm happy with that. So let's get going. And here they are. So I ran to the dollar store because we were out of black spray paint. Well, we had black spray paint, but it wasn't coming out of the nozzle, even though it felt like it was at least half full. So I bought the next best color, dark purple. So I got all 3 of them spray painted. There's the other one. They're drying, hanging from the patio lights. So they should dry pretty good. And so tomorrow we'll throw in the cocoa liners. I can do any touch-ups if I need. I did use almost all of 1 can of spray paint. It just really, and you can see inside like this. I didn't get 100% on the inside. Oop, right there. That'll get a touch-up tomorrow. But I'm low on the can, so I just want to make sure what I can see and can't see once I put the cocoa liners in. So on to the next project. They dried out, and then we got a ton of rain last night, and I totally forgot to bring them in, and I was laying in bed picturing the paint dripping off, but they did just fine. I should have known better. They're fine. They're fine. So I did get the cocoa cores to go in those. They're sitting up on the counter, and I want one of these is going to be a shade hanger, and then one of them is going to replace this one. This pot's a little meh, so I think it'll look pretty there. And then I kind of have 2 on the gazebo, so I'm going to replace this one. I'm actually going to take everything out of that and put in one of these baskets because it's prettier. And then I'm going to hang another one over here on this side. And so any of the ones that are going to be on this side under the tree, I'm going to do more of a shade planting. So let's get those ready to go. So as I am prepping my planter with my new liner, don't forget to go down and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Next up is planting. So I'm going to put on some potting soil, and my very first planter I used the Diamond Mist Euphorbia from Proven Winners, and I have seen so many people use this all over Facebook and YouTube, and I was really excited to see it in the store. I grabbed it at Home Depot and I popped it in there, and I decided to go with some purple petunias to give it a little splash of color. All the petunias I'm using in today's videos I did grow from seed. I think this one is going to end up being my favorite of all the planters. It's so pretty. Isn't she pretty? So yeah, happy with how that turned out. No! The whole thing just went splat all over the deck. The chain had come loose on the one side and just spilled everything out. Oh. Alright, so she survived. Got her planted out here. The diamond frost had a few breaks on the branches. Hopefully it recovers, but she's not ready for her close-up. You'll have to wait. Alright, so now that we have all recovered from the last trauma, it is time to pot up the next basket. So this one is going to have the hyacinth bean vine that I got in one of my seed swaps. So this has some beautiful purple pods on it, and the goal is for it to climb up and over the gazebo and provide some shade. I've read kind of yes and no on whether you should eat them or not. I think only if they're tender and not before they dry. I don't know, but not too worried about harvesting it up there. We shall manage somehow. So I did not decide to take the other planter apart like I had originally mentioned. I decided just to pull out the hyacinth bean and then go from there with, I had enough of the extra purple wave petunias, and then I added in some of my sedum ground cover to give it a nice drapey effect down the sides as my spiller. And I did pop in a little bit of the alyssum that has been growing wild in the backyard. It really reseeded itself last year. So then I just tucked in a climbing petunia kind of in the spot where the other thing had been. And now the shade planter. Kind of taking over the container. And this one in the run. And like, I don't know, I think I should have put them in the back. I've grown pansies before, but they never got this big. Like they always stayed quite small. So, I mean, this one is just, yeah, it's got to come out. It is just way too overpowering for the container. So I'm going to pull this one out, and I might grab this one too because you can't really see any of this stuff. I might pop it in behind. We'll see. So I have 3 fairly decent sized pansies here that are going to go really nice in the hanging basket in the backyard. I think the pansies are going to be much happier in their pretty little hanging basket. So that's going to go in the right hand back corner of the screen where you can see the kind of the green garbage can will be gone at some point, and this will be hanging over there in the shady spot. So I did just use the 3. I think it's going to be plenty for that container. It really filled in nicely, and I was very careful when lifting the chains on the next basket. So yay, it's done. And then I have this big tote that I actually got at Dollarama. It was, I think, I want to say like $2. It's kind of a burlap fabric, and it's got like a wax coating on the inside, and then it has 2 big grommet holes in the bottom for drainage. So we shall see how it works. I did fill it up with some Pro Mix, and then I had some leftover cabbage that I hadn't had a place to put yet. So I stuck in, I think, 3 or 4 of the red Scarvita cabbage and a Mitsuba, and I had a few of my Walla Walla Sweet onions left that had come up in my winter sowing container, so I decided to tuck those in as well. And I think I popped a basil in the middle. So that's it for my planting. So I hope you enjoyed the video, mishaps and all. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the page and hit that notification bell so that you will get notified every time I release a new video.